All right, guys, take out your DBQs and any notes you have pertaining to the discussion. We're going to jump into, was it the New Deal that ended the Great Depression, or was it World War II?
It was World War II. Right.
Let me elaborate on Herbert Hoover and then...
All right, elaborate on Herbert Hoover and why he was awesome. Sarcasm. And then we'll go into the New Deal.
Okay, so you said... Alright, hands off. That's what I was thinking about. Okay. Instead of him just like taking everything away, he made a whole new government system, you could say, is the hands-off program. So he said, y'all fix it yourself. I'm dipping. Okay.
Okay? All right, so...
When the people didn't fix it themselves, it was like, they just leave. So they got FDR in the New Deal, and yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't willing to put any
But-
money into it.
Oh, also...
All right, New Deal or World War II?
World
All right, Carlos, go for it.
It's because right as World War II ended, the Great Depression also ended.
Okay, which way? All right, Caleb, come to it.
Okay. World War II provided demand for entire new industry. The army and the military needed food and materials from their countries back home. Therefore, businesses finally had things to make. Yeah, for money again. World War II impacted on the Great Depression by ending it through employment.
It gave people jobs. That's what she said.
I want to elaborate.
Well, say defense jobs.
To back this, okay? Alright, so
Jump in behind.
from History.com, and it said, FDR's New Deal helped lessen the worst effects of the Great Depression in the 1930s, but the economy would not fully turn around until after 1939 when World War II kicked American industry into high gear. Which means that once World War II got started and in the middle and stuff, we had to start producing a whole lot of stuff. And Georgia was a big production class reference of planes in World War II. So we had, that created a lot of jobs for industry and other, so push unemployment back in the
They needed sources.
So basically, when the war started, like they needed troops, obviously. So more than 12 million Americans were sent into military, and basically a lot of those people were one of those people who were unemployed. So now they had jobs because they were fighting in the military. So all of these jobs, like they took care of a lot of people who were unemployed.
I'd go off of that, what Braden said by saying my own thing from Wikipedia. Okay, it said that World War II was a time of the need of industry, and it brought lots of things that needed to be made. So that helps change what industries were making. They had overproduced the food, so they had food to send. But also the businesses and companies and industries, they were able to change and adapt to the way of making things that they needed for the war.
Alright, who's got it? I got a solution from Braylon since she needs to talk.
I do need to
Alright, go
talk.
for it.
Okay, Wikipedia also stated that when all the prosperities were restored, because like the militaries had to have stuff because they were fighting for our country, so they needed it more than we do. But when the war was over and they all came back, it gave people basically a new start because then they had food and then they had more property and everything, and that helped them a lot to get back on their feet.
Reference.com, it said that 12 million people got sent to the military, and that it helped the other people, like the women that didn't get to go to the military, like they got the jobs that the men had, and then like it helped all the economy.
I'm gonna go off what he said and say that. I'm gonna go ahead and go off what he said, while also going off what Taylor said at the same time a while ago. You see, she said about, what was her name? The poster. The one about the poster.
Rosie the Riveter.
Rosie the Riveter. Well, she was meant to inspire women to take over the jobs. And in World War II, they were stuck taking over the jobs. And
Mr. Prince, introduce us to the lesson and give us any details we need to know and what the learning goal was.
All right, the lesson the kids were doing today was that they did a DBQ, which is document-based questioning, and it builds off of content knowledge. So we've been working on the Great Depression, and we're building up to World War II, but they have to do a little bit of extra research to try to think, hey, did the Great Depression end because of World War II, or is it because of efforts by the government? And so the students did, we spent time in class reading the documents, which are all primary resources, and they developed opinions based off those documents, and then they also did outside resource research to try to build off of what they already knew and try to develop a more justified opinion on why the Great Depression ended.
Okay, and that's where we hear on the video them saying, I read on this site. That's their outside research.
Yes, yes.
All right, so tell me, in planning the lesson and watching it back, what are you most proud of?
I'm proud that the students bought into the Socratic seminar, and they're all wanting to be in the discussion. It wasn't like people just sat on the outskirts and listened. They all were trying to get involved, and I really like seeing that student engagement.
And there's a little 6-second clip of some kids off to the side. Kind of talk about the choice you gave there.
All right, so students have a choice of either, they all looked at the documents, and they have a choice of being in a Socratic seminar, or their other option is to write an essay using those documents and their outside resources.
Last question. In reflecting about the day and what you saw in the video, is there anything that you would change or modify in terms of planning, differentiation, assessment, anything like that?
Well, this is not the first time I've done a DBQ, so kind of developed an idea of how it should go. I give them deadlines on when they need to complete research and working through the documents. I guess one thing that I could change would be to create a defined rubric for the peer grading that happens during the Socratic seminar.
Great. All right. Thank you so much for being willing to have an untraditional classroom and to be videoed.
Well,